Imagine like your doctor. They can just check up on your health from anywhere, right? Using these tiny sensors.
Wow.
Or you could like try on clothes virtually before you actually buy them.
Oh, yeah.
And like your bank, it just becomes like your personal financial advisor.
Yeah.
It's not like sci-fi anymore. It's the power of these like emerging technologies. They're changing everything about business. So today we're doing a deep dive into how companies are using AI and blockchain and the Internet of Things and all that stuff to create value in ways we never even thought of.
Yeah.
And to guide us, we've got this document. It's called Diseño de Modelos de Negocio Basados en Tecnologías Emergentes.
So get ready for some real-world examples, some peeks into potential opportunities, and maybe even some moments where you're like, whoa, that's wild.
Yeah, it really is remarkable how these technologies are like jumping from these like sci-fi concepts into like practical applications.
Yeah.
Businesses that can understand this shift, those are the ones that are going to lead the next wave of innovation. Okay, so before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's just ground this a little bit. Like, what exactly are we talking about when we say emerging technologies? I know the document gives us a few, but I'm curious about like the specific examples that make these technologies so groundbreaking.
Right. Well, the document really highlights artificial intelligence, AI, as a major player. And it's not just, chatbots spitting out canned responses. We're talking about machines that can, like, analyze this complex data, learn from it, and even make decisions.
Whoa.
Like, think about algorithms that can diagnose diseases from medical images.
Wow.
Or even predict stock market fluctuations. That's the kind of power we're dealing with here.
That's, pretty mind-blowing. But AI isn't the only thing, right? What about blockchain?
Right.
I feel like I hear that word everywhere, but I'm still not entirely sure I get it. You know, like what it is or why it matters.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just associate it with cryptocurrency, but it's so much more than that. It's basically like a decentralized and incredibly secure way to record and verify transactions. Like, imagine a digital ledger that can't be messed with, and it's accessible to everyone involved. This could totally revolutionize things, like everything from supply chains to voting systems. Yeah, we could see a future where goods are tracked from the factory to, like, your doorstep with complete transparency. Or elections are conducted with, like, a level of security and trust we've never seen before.
That's really fascinating. Makes you realize, like, how much we just take for granted in terms of trust and transparency. Speaking of things we take for granted, the document also talks about the Internet of Things, IoT. I know it's about connecting everyday objects to the internet.
Right.
But are we talking about like toasters that can order bread when you're running low?
Right.
Give me a real-world example that shows its true potential.
Well, a self-ordering toaster might be kind of fun, but IoT goes way beyond that.
Okay.
Think about a network of sensors embedded in a city's infrastructure. These sensors could monitor everything, like traffic flow, air quality, even water usage. And that data can be used to optimize traffic lights, to find pollution hotspots, to detect leaks in the water system.
Wow.
Ultimately, IoT can make our cities more efficient, more sustainable, and more responsive to, the people who live there. And that's just one application,
I'm starting to see how these technologies are not just like cool gadgets. They're tools to tackle like some really big problems.
Right.
But how do businesses even like wrap their heads around integrating these advancements into what they already do? Is there like a framework to help them navigate all this new stuff?
That's where the traditional business model canvas comes in, but with a bit of a twist.
Okay.
This document is pushing businesses to reimagine every single component of that canvas through the lens of emerging technologies. It's not about getting rid of the old playbook entirely. It's more like adapting it to this new reality.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Walk me through this. Like, how does a technology like AI change the way a company thinks about its value proposition?
Well, it starts with asking the right questions. With AI, you might ask, how can AI help us solve a customer's problem in a way that's faster, more efficient, or more personalized than anything out there? Like, think about a company like Netflix using AI to recommend movies you'll actually enjoy based on, like, your viewing history.
Wow.
That's using technology to create a value proposition that's really tailored to each person.
So instead of just offering like a generic catalog of movies, they're using AI to create this personalized experience that keeps users coming back for more.
Yeah.
I can already see how powerful that is.
Right. And it goes beyond just tweaking what you offer. These technologies can make you reconsider your whole customer segment.
Oh, okay.
Take those health monitoring devices we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
A company targeting older folks might assume everyone's okay with wearable tech.
Right.
But in reality, some seniors might have trouble with the interface or have privacy concerns.
Yeah.
Suddenly, user friendliness and data security become like really important.
So it's not just about the tech itself. It's about understanding how that tech will be received and used by your target audience. That's a really important point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this thinking applies to every aspect of the business model canvas. Think about channels. Instead of just having a physical store, you could use augmented reality, AR,
Yeah.
to create virtual showrooms where customers can interact with products from home.
That's a great example. I can see how AR could completely revolutionize retail, especially for things like furniture or clothes where you want to get a sense of how something looks and feels before you buy it.
Exactly. And when it comes to customer relationships, AI-powered chatbots could handle those basic inquiries, freeing up human agents to focus on the more complex issues.
Okay.
We might even see AI being able to analyze customer data to predict their needs and offer solutions before they even know they have a problem.
That level of personalization is incredible. But it makes me think about the ethical implications.
Yeah.
Like, if AI is making decisions that impact people's lives, how do we ensure those decisions are fair and unbiased?
That's a huge question, and one that we'll definitely explore more. But before we get there, I think it's important to realize these technologies aren't just changing how we do business, they're changing the fabric of society itself.
You're right. We can't just focus on the business side without thinking about the broader impact on society. And I have a feeling this document has some thoughts on that as well.
Oh, it definitely does. And that's where things get really interesting.
Well, then let's dive in.
So this document, it really dives into how different industries are already being reshaped by these emerging technologies. Like a sneak peek into the future. And honestly, some of it is straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Okay, color me intrigued. Which industry, grabs your attention first? Give me the highlight.
Well, healthcare is
Sure.
a prime example. We're already seeing the rise of remote patient monitoring. Using those IoT wearables.
Yeah.
Imagine a heart monitor that's just sending real-time data to your doctor. They can detect irregularities and, intervene before things get serious.
Wow.
That's the power of IoT.
That's incredible. It's like having a virtual guardian angel, just watching over your health 24/7.
Yeah.
What else is happening in healthcare?
AI is playing a huge role in diagnostics. Algorithms are being developed that can analyze medical images with incredible accuracy, rivaling and sometimes even surpassing human doctors.
Whoa.
This could lead to earlier and more accurate diagnoses, especially for conditions that are hard to spot in those early stages.
So AI isn't replacing doctors.
Right.
It's more augmenting their abilities, making them even more effective at what they do.
Exactly. It's it's a powerful partnership.
Yeah.
And it's not just healthcare that's changing. Education's another sector that's ripe for disruption.
Oh, interesting.
Think about immersive learning through augmented reality.
Yeah.
Imagine students dissecting a virtual frog in biology class.
Oh, wow.
Or exploring, the ancient ruins of Rome in history class, all from their desks.
AR could make learning so much more engaging and accessible too. It's like bringing the world into the classroom.
Right. And it's not just about cool visuals. AI can also create personalized learning platforms that adapt to each student's individual needs and pace.
Wow.
This could totally revolutionize education, especially for students who, maybe struggle in those traditional classroom settings.
It's amazing to think how technology can empower students, make learning a more personal and engaging experience.
Yeah.
What other industries are highlighted in the document?
Finance is a big one. Blockchain has the potential to completely revolutionize financial systems,
Okay.
making transactions faster, more secure, and more transparent.
We could see a future where cross-border payments happen in seconds, without needing all those intermediaries, or where your identity is verified instantly and securely through a blockchain-based system.
That sounds That sounds like a dream for anyone who's ever had to deal with the headache of international wire transfers.
Exactly. And AI is changing how we manage our finances. Robo-advisors are getting more and more sophisticated, using algorithms to provide personalized investment advice and manage portfolios, often at like a fraction of the cost of traditional financial advisors.
So AI is disrupting the financial industry in multiple ways, making it more efficient, accessible, and personalized.
Yeah.
What about retail? I feel like that's an industry that's always evolving.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about AR, creating those virtual showrooms.
Yeah.
But it goes way beyond that. AI can be used to personalize the whole shopping experience. Like, imagine walking into a store and, they greet you with recommendations based on your past purchases, your browsing history, even your current mood.
That's a bit Big Brother-ish. But I can't deny it would be incredibly convenient.
Right. And then there's like big data. Retailers are collecting tons of data on consumer behavior, and they're using AI to analyze that data to understand shopping patterns, to predict trends, even to like personalize pricing in real time.
So like dynamic pricing based on your individual purchasing habits, that's both fascinating and a little scary.
Yeah. It definitely brings up some ethical questions,
Yeah.
which, as you mentioned, is something we need to talk about.
Right.
But before we go there, let's look at one more industry that's going through a major transformation thanks to these technologies.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Logistics and manufacturing are being like totally revolutionized by IoT and AI. Imagine like a network of sensors tracking goods through the entire supply chain, giving real-time updates on location, temperature, even potential delays.
So no more lost packages or spoiled shipments. That would save businesses a fortune.
Exactly. And in manufacturing, AI-powered robots are becoming, more and more common.
Yeah.
These robots can perform complex tasks with incredible precision and speed. And they can work alongside human workers, creating a more efficient and productive workforce.
It's a bit like that scene in Iron Man where Tony Stark interacts with his AI-powered robotic arm. Is that like the future of manufacturing?
It might not be too far off. And what's even more exciting is that these technologies are becoming more accessible to, businesses of all sizes. You don't have to be a tech giant to start incorporating AI, blockchain, or IoT. There are affordable tools and platforms out there that can help even like small businesses take advantage of these advancements.
That's encouraging. So it's not just about the big players. It's about democratizing access to these technologies and empowering businesses of all sizes to innovate.
Precisely. And that's why this document is so valuable. It provides a roadmap for businesses to navigate this new landscape, no matter their size or industry.
Okay, so we've seen how these technologies are impacting all these different industries.
Right.
But let's zoom out for a second. How does a company actually build a tech-driven business model from scratch?
Right.
Where do they even begin?
Well, the document lays out this clear 4-phase approach, starting with opportunity identification.
Okay, let's break that down. What does that involve?
Well, it emphasizes the use of tools like PESTEL analysis, which helps businesses, understand the bigger context. Like PESTEL stands for political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors.
Okay.
By analyzing these factors, businesses can identify key trends and forces that are shaping their industry and, the world.
Right.
For example, the rise of remote work is a huge trend that's fueling the metaverse and all these platforms and technologies.
So PESTEL analysis, it's like it helps you see the big picture, right? The forces shaping the world around you.
Yeah.
What happens once you've identified those opportunities?
That's where idea generation comes in. The document highlights design thinking, which is a human-centered approach to problem solving and innovation.
Okay.
It's about understanding, user needs and brainstorming those creative solutions that leverage technology.
So it's about combining a deep understanding of your target audience with a keen awareness of the technological possibilities. That sounds like a recipe for innovation.
Yeah, it is. But you can't just jump from an idea straight to launching a full-fledged product.
Right. There's got to be some testing and refinement involved.
Exactly. That's the next phase. Prototyping and validation. This is where the lean startup methodology comes in, which encourages businesses to create a minimum viable product, or MVP.
Okay.
This could be a basic version of an app, a prototype of a device, or even just the simple simulation of a service. The goal is to test the waters, gather feedback, make sure your idea actually solves a real problem for real people.
So imagine a company wants to develop like a smart home security system powered by IoT.
Right.
They might start with like a basic app that
Yeah.
lets users control a few devices remotely,
Exactly.
just to see how users interact with the technology, and what features they find valuable.
Exactly. And this iterative process, prototyping and testing, it lets businesses refine their ideas and make sure they're building something people actually want and need.
It's like a constant feedback loop. You learn from your mistakes and make things better as you go.
Right. And it's only once the concept has been validated through testing and feedback that you move on to the final phase, scalability.
Okay.
This is about planning for mass adoption, refining the product based on those early learnings, and building the infrastructure needed to support a larger user base.
So it's a journey, not a destination. You're constantly learning and evolving. But are there any specific tools or frameworks that businesses can use to guide them through this process? I'm feeling a bit lost in the weeds here.
Don't worry, it's a lot to take in. And the document does offer some practical guidance.
Okay.
It highlights a few tools that can be really helpful. Of course, there's the business model canvas itself, which provides a visual framework for mapping out all the elements of your business model.
Right.
We talked about how that needs to be adapted for emerging technologies, but it's still, a foundational tool.
Yeah, it helps you visualize the big picture and understand how all the pieces fit together. What else is in the toolkit?
Well, we mentioned the lean startup methodology. That's all about, rapid iteration and validation.
Yeah.
SWOT and PESTLE analysis are also essential, for understanding your internal strengths and weaknesses, as well as those external opportunities and threats in the market.
And let's not forget about technology roadmaps. Those are crucial for strategically planning how you'll adopt and integrate these technologies over time.
Right. These tools give you a practical framework for approaching the challenges and opportunities, that come with these emerging technologies. They can help businesses navigate this constantly changing landscape and make more informed decisions.
Starting to feel less overwhelming now that we have a framework to work with.
Yeah.
But I keep coming back to this question of ethics.
Right.
It's clear these technologies have the potential to do so much good.
Yeah.
But they also have the potential to be misused or to have unintended consequences.
You're right. And it's a conversation we definitely need to have.
Well, let's have it then. It's like we're standing at the edge of something huge, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like looking into a thick fog. There's this whole landscape out there full of possibilities and maybe a few, hidden pitfalls, but it's still kind of blurry. So what are the key things to consider, especially, with this document focusing on business?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is talent. All these emerging technologies, they need a whole new kind of worker, right?
Yeah.
Someone who's not just comfortable with technology, but can think outside the box and solve problems in, creative ways. Businesses need to invest in training their existing employees and attracting new talent in fields like data science, AI, cybersecurity, all that.
So it's not enough to just implement the tech. You need the right people to actually use it effectively.
Exactly. Another challenge is the sheer speed of change.
Oh, yeah.
This tech landscape, it's constantly shifting with new innovations popping up all the time. Businesses have got to be agile, adaptable, willing to experiment and pivot when they need to.
Right.
The days of sticking to a 5-year plan, those are gone.
Yeah.
We're in a world of constant disruption, and the companies that can embrace that, well, they're the ones that are going to thrive.
Yeah. It's like surfing, right?
Yeah.
You got to react quickly and adjust your course to stay ahead of the wave. But that can be pretty daunting for some businesses, especially, the ones that have been doing things the same way for decades.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where partnerships can be so important. Businesses don't have to do this alone.
Yeah, that's true.
There are startups, universities, research institutions. They're all at the forefront of these advancements. And by teaming up, businesses can tap into their expertise. They can access cutting edge technologies without having to build everything from scratch.
It's like building an ecosystem of innovation where businesses and academics and entrepreneurs are all working together, to push the boundaries.
Right. And I think that's where the real excitement is.
Yeah.
We're at the beginning of this technological revolution that could change not just our businesses, but, the whole world. And it's up to us to shape that revolution so it benefits everyone.
Okay, so we've talked about the challenges, but let's end on a positive note, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the most exciting possibilities with these technologies? Like, what gets you fired up?
What really excites me is the potential to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Yeah.
We talked about how AI can revolutionize healthcare and education,
Hmm.
but it can also be used to tackle things like climate change, poverty, even inequality.
Give me an example. Like, how can AI help fight climate change?
Well, imagine using AI to optimize energy grids, making them more efficient and reducing our reliance on fossil fuels.
Okay.
Or using AI to develop new materials that are more sustainable and less harmful to the environment. Or even using AI to, analyze climate data and predict those extreme weather events, which could give us more time to prepare and, mitigate the damage.
It's pretty incredible to think that the same technology that can recommend movies or personalized shopping experiences can also be used to address these massive global challenges.
Right. And it's not just AI. Blockchain has this potential to empower individuals and communities in ways we haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a world where, everyone has access to secure digital identities no matter where they live or their socioeconomic status. Or a world where we can, track charitable donations with complete transparency so we know the aid's actually reaching those who need it most.
It's like using technology to create a more equitable and just world. That's a future worth fighting for.
It is. And I think that's the message I want our listeners to take away. These
Yeah.
emerging technologies, they're powerful tools. And like any tool, they can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us as individuals, as businesses, as a society to make sure we're using them wisely, ethically, and for the benefit of all.
That's a powerful call to action, and I think it really captures the spirit of this document. It's not just about understanding the technology; it's about understanding how it can shape the world around us.
Yeah, exactly. And the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create. And with these tools, the possibilities are, well, they're pretty much endless.
That's that's an inspiring thought to end on.
Hmm.
So, for all our listeners out there, feeling that spark of possibility, what's the first step they should take? What's the one takeaway you want them to like walk away with?
I'd say don't be afraid to experiment. Start small.
Hmm.
Find a problem or an opportunity in your own life or business and think about how these technologies could offer a new solution. Or, create a new path forward. Read, research, ask questions, and most importantly, get your hands dirty. The more you play with these technologies, the more comfortable you'll become and the more likely you are to unlock their true potential.
It's about embracing that curiosity, and that willingness to experiment. And who knows, maybe one of our listeners will be inspired to create the next big thing, right?
Yeah.
Using these technologies to solve a problem we haven't even thought of yet.
Oh, I have no doubt that'll happen. The seeds of innovation are being planted everywhere, and with the right care and attention, they'll blossom into something truly remarkable.
And that, folks, wraps up our deep dive into the world of emerging technologies and their impact on business. We hope you enjoyed the journey.
It's been great exploring these ideas with you.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep innovating.